Today I messed up by making an interactive Valentine's Day card for my wife. Well, this is what I get for dialing it in. I'm an algebra teacher by day, drive-through operator by night, and hopeless romantic in every spare moment I get. I used to be super creative with my gifts of love, like handcrafted soaps and the letters of my love's name, a list of 23 reasons why I love her, before lists were super cool or whatever. Okay, maybe this one isn't so creative, but she loved it. Cute drawings including her favorite cartoon characters and colors, all that jazz. Since I got into teaching, I've gotten into the habit of stealing ideas from the school setting, or using gift cards given to me to regift to the missus. Even those go over pretty well. She ain't picky, she knows I love her. This time around, however, not only did I let the cat out of the bag a bit early, but come to find out that this cat happens to be one that she is severely allergic to, manifesting as a snarky, angry, argumentative rash. Downright sardonic, to be honest. I have awakened a side of this woman I've rarely seen, and never in my last decade and a half of marriage, the first 5 years of marriage, sure, I was an a-hole. I should have thought more about this one. The idea I had was, again, a copy of an idea I had received as a teacher. Each teacher received a bingo card from the social committee, and each space had an issue or situation that teachers have to deal with on a regular basis. Like, received a 500+ word email from a parent, fell asleep in a meeting, or technology issues during a formal evaluation, shortened to tech fail during eval to fit the space. It was pretty creative, and each email we got called a number that was a specific situation, and the winner won a prize, the first to bingo. Well, I got the brilliant idea to make a similar bingo card called OP's Wife Bingo, making up categories for each space based on the things that are legitimate stresses she has to deal with on the regular or things that are specific to her. I made a legend where if she gets a bingo, she picks 3 additional chores for me to do, coverall being lady's choice, and 4 corners being opoly, a certain version of Monopoly, but if she lands on free parking, she has to roll a dice and put one of 6 body parts on one of 6 of mine, rolling 2 6-sided dice. If I land free parking, it's the opposite, etc. Now that was a fun present for both of us. Here's the crux of the FU. The categories, spaces I chose. Lose at bunco. Hit snooze 1 too many times. Argue in a grocery store. Talk to a sleeping man. Yelling names. Unpaid Uber day. Last minute change of plans. Huh? Credit card juggling. Scoop cat litter. And a few more that are even lower stakes. So I thought. Another part of the FU was that I was using my laptop, literally on my lap during our shows, Law and Order Organized Crime, and I chose to switch tabs to OP Wifey Bingo to add a couple more categories that I haven't thought of yet. This caught Wifey's attention, so she leaned over to look as I inched it away from her like I was looking at Cornhub. She smiled for a second, then after about 3 seconds she frowned, stared at me, then leaned back into her seat, looking defeated. I looked at her the way a dog looks at his owner the first time said owner farts. I was confused, I suppose. I didn't say anything about being confused, but she evidently sensed it. So she dug right in, saying, "Look, you're the only reason I fight in the grocery store. I yell the names because it's the only way kids get up, and I hit snooze because I'm exhausted, okay?" She then categorically defended every square with precision. I swear to God, in order, top to bottom, left to right. It was impressive. I've never been so amazed whilst being assigned a new sleeping service. I could say that I hit a nerve, but evidently I've managed to hit all of them. As she aggressively loads the dishwasher, I wonder what sort of miracle it's going to take to fix this spousal PR nightmare before actual Valentine's Day. As you can read, the fallout is continuously falling as I type this. Updates to follow. TLDR, I made what I thought was a cute little Valentine's game for my wife. It hurt her feelings in every possible way, and now I'm doing damage control. Today I messed up. I accidentally took too many antihistamines last night and started tripping absolute balls. TLDR, I'm a sleep-deprived mom suffering from postpartum insomnia, and I live in Central Texas, so I'm also dying from cedar fever, and accidentally took way too much Unisom and Benadryl and started fighting the Hat Man and his army of spiders. Last night I took 75 milligrams of Unisom. I know, but I was desperate to sleep when we got home from family Christmas, because the previous night I got 2 hours of sleep and needed to knock out and rest. However, my husband is going on a hunting trip this weekend and was leaving me in his truck, so he needed my car keys, which were lost. So I got up to help him look after I was already almost asleep. That woke me up from sleepiness of the Unisom I had taken about an hour prior. After we found them buried under wrapping paper trash from presents, I laid back down to hopefully get some sleep. But then the baby wakes up. My husband is taking a quick shower, so I do this feeding. Now in Texas, we have what's called cedar fever this time of year, and my God, it is horrible. I legitimately feel like I've got the flu and strep at the same time. So while I was prepping the bottle, I took 75 milligrams of Benadryl without thinking. I know this seems extreme, but I'm tired, and I promise you a regular dose isn't touching my cedar fever allergy. And I'm desperate to sleep and not spend the night sneezing, swelling, itching, and struggling to breathe with my sore throat. I feed the baby, get him back to sleep, get back in bed, and about 20 minutes later, I start feeling drowsy again finally. I'm just about to sleep when the baby wakes up again. My husband says he will change him and soothe him and do this feeding if I'd go make the bottle. I get to the kitchen. It's almost pitch black in the house, save for the Christmas tree lights on, so that created a low lighting effect in the kitchen. As I'm walking up to my fridge, I glance at something moving on my stove, and to my absolute horror, it's a giant ball of wolf spiders. Now, if you aren't familiar with this particular brand of spider, they are crafted by a cruel god straight out of the 8th circle of heck. They're the size of tarantulas. I know logically they are good boys who keep away the other unsavory creepy crawlers, and I am forever haunted by that poem from Tumblr written in the POV of a spider being killed inside of set outside by humans, so I typically leave them to their creepy devices in my garage. However, they are not welcome in my house, and definitely not welcome to form a ball shape like they're auditioning for a spider circus show on my stove. So I hurriedly flick on my kitchen lights, ready to scream, burn the house down, empty a clip into them. But instead, I am completely and utterly horrified when the ball disappears as soon as the light turns on. What the heck? This is when it clicked in my tired mom brain that I had astronomically, royally, horrifically, biblically messed up. I was fighting sleep on a higher than recommended dose of 2 antihistamines, and now they've kicked into delirium mode. The Hat Man was coming. Now, when I was younger and in college, I had tried some shrooms once and had a horrible time. So I knew it was happening to me, thankfully, and I could ground myself when the Hat Man and his army of spiders inevitably decided to show up. I made the bottle, quickly passed it off to my husband, and climbed into bed. I didn't say a word to him because he's never done drugs in his life and doesn't drink, so I knew he would lose his absolute mind if I told him that his normally responsible adult wife and his mother of his 2 children was tripping absolute balls. The baby goes down again, husband comes to bed. I close my eyes and spend about 45 minutes in heck as my brain decides to start visualizing in extreme and honestly impressive detail the faces of people morphing into the most horrific, distorted shapes. I'm doing my best to keep my head here and trying to gaslight my brain into pretending that I do not see, and my husband starts snoring. He's in a deep sleep. The baby wakes up again. I go make a bottle, flipping all the lights on this time, screw you spiders, and sit down to feed him with my phone flashlight on. The Hat Man is smoking a cig in the corner of my eye, and spiders are curling on my fingers. I start mentally pleading with the God that I don't believe in that I will never take an antihistamine again if he'll just make this stop. The baby goes back to sleep. I go to my bathroom, throw up, chug water, pee, stare at myself in the mirror, trying to understand how I could mess up this bad, flip off the Hat Man, and make it back into bed. I finally fall asleep for about 6 hours of blissful, dreamless sleep. I feel completely normal today, just a bit groggy, dehydrated, humbled, and maybe a little traumatized. I grabbed my Benadryl out of the medicine cabinet and chugged it. Now, I'm not normally a judgmental person. I don't stick up my nose at those who use or have used drugs because raw dogging life as an adult in this economy is heck. But those of you who like doing this, you are an insane person, a different breed. You need to be studied and maybe locked away from society because holy cow, I am horrified you would choose to do this, but also slightly impressed and definitely scared of y'all, respectfully.